to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of the jackpots, and the agony of the tilt. The Silverball drama with a focus on competition. The International Flipper Pinball Association, funwithbonus.com, and Coast to Coast Pinball bring you the wide world of pinball.
Welcome, everybody, to the wide world of pinball. It's episode 2. Joining me tonight, Mr. Josh Sharp.
How's it going?
It's going good. Mr. Steve Bowden.
What up?
I'm Nate Shivers. I'm glad you all are here. This is a podcast, a show taking aim at competitive pinball.
The Soft Plunge.
We have a winner in the house, don't we, tonight?
Is that me?
That's you, Steve Bowden.
That's me. Yay.
Representing the podcast.
Sure as hell isn't me, boys.
Well, we know. Someday, Josh. Steve Bowden goes to Atlanta, crushes Pinvasion, brings home the trophy. Congratulations. Round of applause for Steve Bowden, everybody.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Went to Atlanta and brought home a little bit of cash, I guess, and a nice trophy by Angela Dropka that I couldn't even take on the plane. So I'll look forward to picking that up at Replay Effects later.
Absolutely.
But yeah, definitely. That was definitely one of those tournaments where the scores were high to qualify, and as far as, I wanted to keep playing to see if I can drive the bus or at least go fourth, but it came to a point where I was saying, you know what, I'm in, I'm good, I'll play any one of these games, I don't care what gets picked against me.
What seed were you, Steve, going into the final?
I think I was 11.
Good
I dropped down to 11. I was first for a hot minute, and then it just dropped down and down and down. Then I lost my first place score, so take 10 points off the board. So I think I had one second place score left on my ticket, so that's where my bonus points came from. But even if I lost those, I was still going to be in. But it just became a point of, if I put any more money in, it would just be throwing bad money after good, or good money after bad, whatever that saying is. But anyway, I was done. So I was done, and I was just saying, you know what? I think I can last past the scorekeeper's hour, and if I can make it past that and then survive it, and it's fine. Meanwhile, Sanjay is sweating his behind off, hoping he can qualify.
That's what he does.
Yeah, he was. We were there. I was like, oh please, oh wow, can he survive the 1 hour scorekeeper time? Because the scorekeepers get that hour because they volunteered. So, but yeah, he barely survived that. And so I said, you know what? I'm not going to choose anything. That's fine. I'll play whatever they pick. And then all of a sudden, they kept taking me to Tron, and I was very happy, even though it was very tilty.
Okay, so Steve, were you at Pinvasion the year before? I don't remember. I was. Were you?
I did do one other Pinvasion.
The first one, I think.
I think.
Nate, is that where you pushed a kid?
That is where I allegedly pushed a kid. I did not push a kid, Josh Sharp.
Yes. No, they have the tape. You totally pushed a kid.
No, they have the tape, but I did not push a kid. That's actually not true, Josh Sharp. Looked like a really good lineup. Looked like a lot of good players, mostly Americans. I think there was a single non-American came down to Atlanta, but a good-sized field.
Definitely good. I mean, it's definitely a good event to go to. So since they moved to that new venue, it's a huge hotel now. So they definitely had the space. So yeah,
it was the return of Leonard, guys, which neither of you guys would know from the '90s, but I do.
I don't know. Please fill us in.
Lee Mascaratolo, who finished second to Steve,
yeah, that's right,
has found a rekindle. He's one of the players that I knew when I was a kid that was in the early Papa Expo days in the early mid '90s, and he has refound his love affair with competitive pinball and is going. I think he drove right from the Northwest show from Seattle to Atlanta.
That's a long ways.
He is going crazy, balls to the wall.
Yeah, he finished 32nd at the Northwest show on June 5th, and then finished second at Pinvasion on June 12th. And drove.
So it was good. Yeah. It was good to see him have some success while I was watching.
It was awesome. I was glad to have met him, and with his play was unbelievable. I mean, the battle we had on Whirlwind that wasn't even on camera. He's talking about scores of 10 million. He had 13 million. I mean, it was that close. So it
was that the final game, Steve?
It was not the final. It was like this. It was one of the semifinal games. We had Wardrick, Lee, myself were in it, and basically, Wardrick pulled out the 10 million, and I had to come back and get 10.4 million, and then Lee came by and blew us both away with 13 million. But then none of that was on camera, so we didn't see that part. We were beating each other up off camera. So, but that was semis, I think. But yeah, he played amazingly well, and it was definitely great to meet him and hear some of the stories he was telling, about pinball back in the not too distant past, right?
Back in the day when we didn't cradle.
Right, yeah. We played on the fly and we liked it. The ball went where we wanted it to go. Nice.
That's awesome. Well, it sounds like Brian had another really good, successful year running Pinvasion at the Southern Fried Game Room Expo. What did you think of the show overall, Steve? Did you get to see any of the rest of it?
I got to see a few of the other exhibits. I mean, one thing that was definitely prevalent, especially in the tournament area, was the constant soundtrack of Ghostbusters Premium.
I can imagine.
Or LE rather, because that was just set loud enough to where we're hearing it constantly. I mean, good thing that soundtrack's good on it, because I didn't get sick of it, but it was just constantly there. But yeah, it was good. It was definitely a good event overall. There was definitely other stuff to do there other than the tournament itself, even though I hung out in the tournament area for most of the time that I was there, because that's just what I do. But yeah, I definitely suggest, if you're thinking about going to if you're going to be in the Atlanta area, or visit that event. It's pretty good. It's already coming up. Already.
Yeah, that show is a pretty big success story.
Yeah.
Preston and Patrick from Game of Junkies and their whole crew that run that show, that sort of came out of nowhere 3 years ago and has turned into quite a force. It's good to see.
It's definitely good to see. Definitely a huge event coming up very quickly.
So let's take a look at who the top 5 players are in the world, Mr. Josh Sharp, on the IFPA World Pinball Player Rankings, since you are the president. I'm assuming Zach Sharp, your brother, is still number 1? No change since last month?
He is hanging to just under 1,000. He can't get much closer without going over 1,000 points.
Very nice. And then Daniele, Asiari, Jorian Engelbrechtston, Keith Elwin, Raymond Davidson. Round out the top 5. Steve Bowden. This show's Steve Bowden, number 6.
Yeah. Look who got his points back.
Yeah. Well, and I said to you earlier, you got a lot of points for winning Pinvasion, and you were thinking, circuit, like Papa Circuit points. I was talking IFPA Whopper points.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah,
that was 52 points.
See, this is where like the myth continues. So Steve wins Pinvasion, and then people will just say he just won another Super League instead, and ignore the fact that he just won, like a Papa Circuit level tournament. Love it.
I love it. Hashtag Super League, baby.
Just not fair, man. It's just not fair.
Vindication. No.
Vindication. Well, good for you. I appreciate it. I think it's awesome that you represented us so well there. And hopefully one of the 3 of us will do really well at Pinburg coming up, right? Right?
I definitely hope so, yes.
We have a 3 out of 700 chance of winning. We got it.
Yes.
It's a lock.
If I make it, we have a 3. Well, I don't know that I have any chance of winning to begin with, but at least a 2.0001%.
We have a 100% chance of having an excellent sandwich.
That is the truth.
All right, that's true.
That is the truth. Very good.
Catch a run and you might just make it. So, it's Pinburg. Who get lucky in those EMs. That's what I always hope for every time I go to Pinburg.
That's what you're too good to hope for that. That's what I'm supposed to be hoping for.
I need to. I need to get lucky on those mini flipper EMs where I don't know where the ball's going and I don't know how much I can tilt the game before tilt ends game. And I'm just plunging and praying, and please just let me have game time and don't try to control the ball. It's an EM with mini flippers. Just flip it. And then I'll go into old habits and try to guess the physics of the game and say, no, just flip it, just play, and then I'm already dead.
Zach Sharp gave me a great tip a couple years ago at a tournament. I don't know where we were, but he saw me playing probably pretty poorly on a small flipper vintage game, and he said, hey man, just flip. Like, he saw me trying to catch balls and stuff. So
yeah, Zach and I, we call that the C-ball hit ball strategy when all else fails. So on those little things, you get too cute and it'll eat you up.
Yeah,
that's my problem. Yeah.
Number 1 player in the country of Croatia, Daniel Koss. Do you know Daniel? Anybody know Daniel?
Daniel was the best man at my wedding.
That's not true. You're lying.
That is not true.
That is not lying.
That is great. That is great ad-libbing there.
I like it. All right, let's jump into some serious stuff here. Very serious stuff. We had an article in the LA Weekly about, as they called it, the selfie pinball leagues. Did you guys see that?
Definitely.
I did, because I posted about it.
Posted it. Is that his was the links we all went to, so that's good.
That's good. Did they contact you?
No, it was just something that was forwarded to me, I think from the Stern guys, actually. And I had no idea the piece was even going on, but it was a great piece to see.
Pretty cool to see some mainstream pub on pinball. I like it.
That's very nice. I mean, I learned that the Modern Pinball is a selfie league somewhere. I learned that. Yep, that's part of this article. So
you guys just don't have enough stuff. You got to get in on the selfie stuff too.
Yeah, I know. How'd that happen? So.
Yeah, I think we had a little bit of misinformation in there. The title of the LA Weekly article is the Selfie Pinball League the future of arcade tournament play?
Yes. It's also the present.
Yes,
it's now. The future is now. So let's go. It's just one type of tournament play that's available.
Yeah, doing very well. I saw that. I saw a nice little back and forth on the IFPA homepage with Josh and some of the fans of whether or not it was the best thing for pinball. Josh Sharp, is the Selfie League the best thing for pinball?
It's certainly it uses social media in a really positive way. That is it the future? I don't know, but it's
is it the best thing for pinball?
It is the best thing.
That's all I want you to say. That's all I want you to say.
Because we came up with it on your show after Hilton came up with it in his mind.
You know, it's fuzzy to me because I don't know that I came up with anything other than putting the words selfie super league all together, but whatever. I'll take the credit.
Well, it doesn't matter. After enough years of pinball lore between when it happened and sometime in the future, you will have come up with the Super League. So, it will all melt. It will all meld together, and you will have come up with the original Super League. And people who know the real story will just grin and laugh and sit in silence. So
I think the side effect, the importance of pinball on location and that survival and that whole diatribe, this has certainly gone a long way towards helping pinball be more viable in the streets. And beyond whether it's a good or bad format or whatever, anything that enables pinball to be something that people want to operate is a good thing for anyone that's interested in pinball, not even as a competitive person, interested in pinball as a collectible. You need people to want pinball in the next 10, 20, 30 years, that it gives a better chance for people to see pinball on location if it's successful.
Well, absolutely. Anything that gets quarters in the coin slots or dollar bills in the DVAs. I mean,
or pay range swipes.
Or pay range swipes, right.
Things.
Look, not all of us have the luxury of being able to bring these machines home. That's a reality. Some of us have kids, have families, just don't simply have the income. So not only is pinball important on location for people to just go play, it's also sort of how you grow the thing. Nobody comes and plays my games, but I go see the games down on the boardwalk in San Diego, and there's kids playing them. And that's the future. We have to have location pinball. So if the Selfie League is something that drives people to go out and, like you said, put money in the coin box.
Yeah, get it in there. Yep.
And I think you've already seen proof of that around the country, that it has increased earnings. And for me, selfishly, it's just more convenient for me if I'm going to play in some sort of league, whereas my schedule is hard for me to commit every Tuesday night for a month or something like that. Yeah,
it's definitely more convenient for everyone. Whether it's a better or worse version of competition between people is probably the best negotiable thing. But there's no doubt the convenience is amazing.
You know what's sad, Steve? Josh Sharp's trying to kill the Selfie League.
I know, right?
Yeah, stop killing competitive pinball, Josh. You're killing competitive pinball.
All right.
So that'll be a new meme, so I'm working on that. I just don't know which one to use for that, so preview.
Love the meme. Yeah, we'll talk about memes a little bit. That's good stuff.
The Hard Plunge.
All right, so we had a whole list of topics on the docket for episode 1, and I think we got to like 2 of them. So we're gonna
Right.
jump back into our notes from that. Something that we had wanted to talk about. I think it's just an interesting sort of hypothetical idea, and something that Steve can talk to a little bit in actuality, is the idea of qualifying in a tournament, in a competitive tournament, using an entry, qualifying system based on your last entry. So not a conglomerate. Or not your best ticket, but simply your last ticket. And I'd love to hear where that's happened, what your experience has been with it, and then the debate between you and Josh on whether or not this is a viable idea or a good idea for qualifying in a pinball tournament.
Well, all right. So I guess shall we begin Crossfire now? I mean, I don't know.
I'm setting the stage.
Are you Hannity or Combs? I don't know.
I'm certainly neither. But yeah, as far as last ticket counting, I was just interesting on whether or not what other sort of drama / strategy / whatever would happen with that sort of format. I mean, one thing that might happen with it is that if you have a person who has a good entry already in, they just might stop playing, or they might have to think about when they're going to keep playing. It just causes that extra level of angst and strategy that even though it might take the pot down a lot, so you'd have to counter that with something. But I just was interested in how that would affect qualifying. In that way, you might not see any more top players who are sitting in second position, still, competing on the same game, trying to get first position so they can get the first overall rank, or maybe they're just holding back and trying to see what everyone else is doing. I mean, I'm just interested in seeing how good or a bad idea it is. I went through a last ticket standing event in New York where it ended up being my only ticket anyway. But I was definitely thinking about whether I was going to play another ticket on it, and that was last ticket where it was like 7 games. So I was deciding on that tournament whether or not I would play again, and I decided, that's it. I'm just not going to play them anymore. But I mean, the idea originally was on to address herb style. Whether or not we could have
last score
per game. Yeah, I mean, last ticket I'm definitely interested in too, and see if that would. I mean, if you figuring you have to play your whole ticket over, that's definitely would be even more interesting.
Can I jump in on why this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Please, I can't. I'm like rage tilting over here.
Mm-hmm.
So like. One of the first things you mentioned as a pro, Steve, which I think is awesome, is you talked about the extra level of angst that it creates. That is not fun for most people. So that might be fun for you and me. I can't, Nate. I mean, but be the voice in the middle here. Does that kind of format sound like something that you would feel excited about playing?
Oh, obviously my level of skill is far below you guys, and I think I would like to watch it more than I think you probably already in my head a little bit here. If I was watching like an invitational, like say this is the Players Championship of pinball,
there you go. I think that's the only way this works is if you have a certain level caliber of player where this creates interesting drama.
So you're saying this works for TV, Josh? TV? Huh? TV? Yes?
There you go. Pinball with the pros on tour.
TV format. So this is poker after dark.
I think it would be interesting to have a situation where you have a time limit on your qualifying, and you have a lot of good players trying to post scores and make a qualifying, or even for seeding purposes. If you had some sort of IFPA tournament where you had your top 16 or your top 32, and a lot of it came down to seeding in a time frame, I think it would be interesting to see if certain players would risk bombing a game to try and get a better score or not. But as far as for the masses, where we are trying to increase participation, it would be difficult. I think you'd have a lot of players, because obviously we see people. Yeah,
too much stress. Too much stress. I can hear that. I definitely hear it would be too much stress, because it'll be stressful for me. I definitely would be.
Ironically, I think the biggest growth, the format that's led to the biggest growth for people has been herb style, because of the barrier to entry is super cheap for you to just want to compete. And there's no pressure to have to play well at any point in time because you can always play again. And, I'll see that with friends of Zach and myself that don't go to Papa because it's not fun to even have the pressure of having to put a ticket together, let alone like that being your last ticket. Like the idea that they can show up and, we're in Chicago, so they're able to show up to Expo every year, but knowing that like, hey, I'm bringing $40 and I'm just going to play and we're going to see how it goes. And I know that no matter what I do, it's not going to hurt me for my scores for the tournament. And that makes it way more inviting for the masses versus other formats.
What are your thoughts, both you guys, on doing a limited Herb like we saw in Texas this year?
Love it.
Depends on how many games, how many account. It depends on that. If you're talking about like Texas had, what was it, 2012-10? Where like there were 20 available tickets, 12 available games where 10 count.
I have to go back and look at my notes.
It was 2012-10, right? That does not put me on the flight to go to Texas.
That's just not enough play for you?
Now, if it's 30... Now, if it's 30...
Man up, Steve. Come on. How many games do you...
And change the number of tickets, change the number of... If it's 25 and 5, say, or 2012 and 5, if it's less tickets, if it's less games that count, it's that 10 at the end that hurts.
And what they were going for was they were trying to require a spread of eras in their tournament, which I understand, but
that huge spread that hurts. If it were 2012 and 5, that's different because I'm thinking I've got the 20 and I've got the 5, so I'm thinking I will get 4 chances on each of the 5 games I want to play. If I get lucky and get a good game on one, I just save some tickets for some other games I want to play. But 20 and 10. I mean, I have 20 and 10 is kind of like in Pinfest when we had 8 over 4. So you had a much less margin of error there. In Pinfest we had 8 available games, your top 4 counted. Not 8 available games, like 8 entries, 8 tickets maximum, and your top 4 scores counted. So it's very slim as far as what you could play, with very slim margin of error there. If you get beat down by an EM, you are screwed. And in Texas, you got 20 and 10, so with some EMs in there. So a house ball or 2 hurts really bad for that flight you just took.
But
that car you rented.
You know what? For someone who wants the pressure and stress of the last entry counts, that's like different. 10 games with 10 tickets would be right up your alley, man. It is your last entry and it counts.
That's totally different. That's a whole other article. That's a totally different non sequitur point there. I mean, that is totally different. Yeah, sure. In Pinfest, my last entry counted because that was the only amount that we had time for. So yeah, I was playing pretty conservatively. Once I realized that I'm probably going to only get 5 out of the 8 games played, simply because the amount of people who came, it was just the queues were too bad for us to play them all. But Pinfest I can drive to, whereas Texas, that's a couple grand. So right.
And to be honest, I've never actually even played in a limited Herb yet, anyway. So your mileage may vary, gentlemen.
Unbelievable. I really liked Texas. I thought it was fun. I did feel, and honestly, the 20 tickets, everyone kind of jumped on that early. Is like, oh, it's not enough play. I think it actually was enough play. Maybe a few more tickets could have been more, I don't know, fulfilling or whatever. But I do sort of agree that 10 counted games was too high.
The 20 is fine. The 20 is fine. It's the 10 that hurts it. If it's 20 and 6 even, right? It's that 10 that's huge.
And they are very hung up on the idea of they don't want someone to just play, the 4 DMD modern games and then 2 80 solid state games and be in without ever touching an EM. That was really. I can
understand that.
They're going for that cross era thing.
Because you have some people who would qualify only on the DMDs, and you have some people who would only qualify on the EMs, and some people who would only qualify on the mid-range games. So, and they would all qualify for the finals with different paths to get there. I can see that, but it's just not a lot of second chances you can get there. So it really is splitting. That does split the difference between having a Herb style and having your virtual last entry count. But again, personally, I'm in Jersey. I'm not flying to Texas for it. I mean, if you're in Texas, that's fine. Just like I was an hour 15 minutes from Allentown, so I'll definitely drive down there to play a maximum of 8 games and throw throw the dice and see what happens. That's fine, but I'm not going to go to Seattle for it.
Speaking of Texas, the Bat City Open in Austin is this weekend. That's the next Papa Tour
Who's
circuit
going,
event.
guys? Who's going?
I'm not going. I don't think you guys are going, but I'm sure they will do well.
I'm going to Pinmania. Got to see Ballyman's games.
Pinmania is in Maine.
Pinmania is in Maine, so I have to go there.
At JR's place, right?
Yep, JR's place. That's going to be awesome. I got to go there, and on the way back, got to go to Pinball Wizard Arcade. So that's
oh my gosh, Pinball Wizard Arcade, one of the best. You've been there, Josh.
I have. I went for Zach's wedding. I stopped over there, and I lost my daughter in that place. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's
great place. Fantastic place. Sarah runs a fantastic pinball-heavy arcade there. Josh Sharp, should we have rules in the IFPA ranking systems that only allow certain tournament styles?
That allow certain tournament styles?
That only allow, that you basically tell people how their tournaments have to be run to get
no,
Whopper points?
I mean...
I saw that posted somewhere this week.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we're fortunate enough with this game that there's so many unique ways to judge, pinball skill between people. And, you golf, Nate, so there's different ways to play golf too, whether it's a skins game or whatever, best ball, blah blah blah. The idea of limiting the opportunities for people to come up with fun and unique formats, I've played in so many fun and unique formats, that's an important part of the fun of the game to me. And I think our ability to be able to sort of grade those formats based on a common metric is the best way for us to maintain that flexibility of no, you do not have to go set up your bracket and everyone is playing a best 2 out of 3 and we're all Stepford wives. That doesn't sound fun to me as a player. So it's going to be really tough for me to want to have my organization support that sort of dumbing down of these approved formats that you must follow. Definitely. Or else go away.
Steve, do you ever find yourself when you're playing in tournaments that aren't sort of traditional in their layout that you kind of wish they were? Does that ever happen?
That haven't happened to me.
No. So you like the variety?
Yeah, I love the variety. Just when I get there, I just got to remind myself of the format, and then it just basically breaks down to whatever format it is, win the game. Winning the game solves whatever format it is. So, right? What? Name a format.
Apparently, it doesn't in Super League, where I have to get multi-ball.
Right, but right. But that means you won the game. Then that's still a win.
Okay, I'm just kidding.
So name a format where not winning could help you. Meaning to try to segue into sandbagging, but maybe not. Was that good? No, was that not good? Did we talk about that?
Hey, man, you guys tabled that subject, so I don't know what to tell you. All right. Left turn here.
It's a tease. It's a big tease.
It's a big tease. Left turn here. We want to talk about a subject that popped up on the Tilt forums. That's tiltforums.com, if you're wondering.
Hold on. Forum static.
Stop that.
Okay, go ahead.
Stop that. And this was a post that concerned playfield validation and a tournament director who was, I believe, not allowing certain playfield validation technique. Is that right?
That sounds right. Sounds close to right.
Qualification? Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess first, for those listening that don't really know what we're talking about by playfield validation, whoever wants to jump on this one, explain what a valid playfield actually is.
Go, Steve. You do it.
Oh, boy. A valid playfield depends on the machine, the era, the manufacturer. Okay, this is going to sound really bad. It's going to sound like a whole bunch of if-then-else statements. Okay. A valid playfield is the state of the game where if you drain the ball, then your turn's over.
Drain the ball. Yeah.
Yeah. but that only works in most of the time. I mean, it basically becomes, you know what it is when you see it. I mean, it's strange. It depends on the game. Usually you're not valid. Like, you're valid when the game recognizes that you started play.
More often than not, it's 3 switches that trigger. And I think I talked to Lyman about it at some point in time, but it's so the game isn't accidentally registering a drain prematurely when like the ball is still sitting in the plunger lane, and because there's like switch issues. And what some players have done in a skillful manner is to manage the fact that with short plunging these days, you can get the ball under control and have some fun with up to 3 switches of play before the game even considers your ball to be a live ball.
So you can...
But sometimes it's not 3 switches, though. Sometimes it's not 3. Sometimes, I mean, an in lane is not counted as one of the 3. If you go through an in lane, you're in. If you go through an out, if you go through the out lane on Jackpot, you're not in. If you go through the out lane on CSI, you're in and you're out. So it depends on the game, and mostly it's 3 switches. But sometimes if you hit like a major switch, whatever the game considers to be a major switch, and all of a sudden the music changes to the in-game music, but sometimes that can help you figure out whether you're playing or not. If all of a sudden the music has changed from the shooter's groove to the full theme,
your skill shot's no longer available, right. Or your score, instead of blinking in that normal like pre-plunge way, it's blinking the other way.
If instead of blinking, it's scrolling, unless you're playing the Simpsons Pinball Party, in which case you have no idea because the game never blinks or scrolls; it's just there. So it just becomes, you'd have to kind of learn when you're valid or not. I mean...
Okay, so taking that into account, so basically there's a strategy here where I can soft plunge, get the ball under control, take pot shots or shots, depending on your attitude towards this, and make things happen. Pretty standard at high-level pinball tournaments. We hear a lot of it. I hear it all the time. I hear chatter between whoever it may be in Papa A, like, playfield validation or not. What came up here was specifically on Stern's The Sopranos game. The tournament director at this tournament in this subject didn't like the fact that you could get yourself to the boat multi-ball.
Oh yeah,
every ball. If you're not starting every ball with Stu-Gott's multi-ball, you're playing it wrong.
Yeah, so he wanted to disallow the strategy. And the person who posted this, AOBrian5 username, says he doesn't like that, and he wants to know, is this something that the IFPA would look down upon, because this is an IFPA sanctioned tournament? Can a tournament director basically dictate strategy that can happen on the playfield?
And the answer to that is yes.
It's your tournament, right? I mean,
but only up to the point that they are willing to enforce those rules. And by the need to enforce those rules is, you probably better have your ass there watching the game, giving warnings to players if you notice anything that's foul. And for most tournament directors, that's just not possible. And so it's very similar to, I think the example I used in the thread was, hey guys, plunge your extras. They're on, but just plunge them. And it's like, oh, okay. Like, now how do you know everyone plunged all their extras? Because every Papa I went to in the Classics division, there were people left and right that were playing their extras. Mostly probably because they didn't know that it was a rule. But a rule is only as good as it is enforced. And that's why, when Zach and I make our rules are mostly around us being lazy and knowing we're not going to watch the game more often than not. So, anytime we can't turn extras off, it's play extras, because they're on there and I'm not going to watch to make sure you don't play them.
And that's the only way to really level the playing field, is just say they're on for everybody.
It is, yeah.
If you're not going to watch it. But there is, like, the being able, and I got to think, at least the first person that turned on valid playfield exploitation to me was Kaylee. That's who I think of when I think of these strategies.
It was amazing in talking to him about it, like, the first time. This has to be 7-8 years ago. Like, every game he plays, he immediately starts investigating, like, how far can I get using, valid before something goes valid. And he just tells me these wild stories. It was like Ripley's Believe It or Not, where he got through like like he got through all the continents and he wasn't valid yet, or something like ridiculous. It's just like,
Wow,
what
that's
even
sick.
gave you that thought? Because I think the scoop doesn't even register a single switch in Ripley's for some reason, or something like
the Vary target that
attacks
starts the what? Really?
ask him next time you see him.
That's
But
amazing.
It's ridiculous, and at least fortunately these, he would send me a message about Stern Star Trek. Hey, I got all the way to Vengeance 3 and I wasn't valid yet, or whatever. And fortunately, I've been able to, like, if that happens, I can email Dwight or email Lyman or Lottie and say, hey man, you need to make that switch a live switch the first time it's hit, because this guy played for 45 minutes and his ball wasn't valid yet. And it's amazing to see, for me as a high level player, to see someone else like attack a game that I had never thought of attacking in that way before.
Man, that's amazing. I thought CSI was bad. That with as far as you can get on that, but
oh yeah, bonus X for days.
I thought that was bad. Yeah, I mean, bonus X, getting the centrifuge all the way to multi-ball if you want, and the skull without being valid yet. But wow, that's amazing.
And to be fair, and I think Kaylee posted in the Tilt Forums thread, like this, it's not easy. So there's like a quick rush to judgment.
Say, oh, they're cheating, or
like,
they're
oh
taking
my God.
advantage.
No, that's skill.
It's not even cheating. It's not even
the
cheating.
Fear
It's
skill
like,
involved. Yeah.
yeah, like it's
taking
a
an
higher
angle.
level.
It's
It's
an
a
angle.
higher level of skill required than like normal pinball playing. That the chances of someone doing this incredible thing, even at the highest level, is really small.
Yeah.
And I think that's when Kaylee sort of chuckled when Papa went out of their way to disable CSI's exploits, with Lyman there writing code in Papa headquarters to make sure that things were going valid immediately, because everyone was afraid Kaylee was going to play for 7 hours and not be valid. I don't know, but
everyone
it's not
would've.
easy to do.
Everyone would have. I mean, if that would have stayed in there, I mean, with the rumor mill that goes on in A Division, everybody would have told everybody else, and everyone's ball 1 would have taken 10 minutes, and nobody would be playing CSI. So that had to happen.
That's interesting. Do we see any of that on any of the real recent games that have come out from Stern?
Thrones. I mean, the only thing, and that's
Sure.
not that far.
Take
but,
your Lord of Light shots.
Right, do that, but all you got to do is take the ball save off at the start just to scare people into not doing it. Take the ball save off and turn the music off so that you can't hear when you're going when you're actually started.
And blindfold the player, then they can't see anything.
Right.
Well, that game already does that for you.
Right, it already does that. Yeah, shine one of the lights in your eyes if you can't see the game. Turn the music off so you don't know when you're live, and set Lord of Light to hard so it doesn't light ever. And there you go. So now you've got 4 second games of Game of Thrones as people bounce off the drop targets and drain over and over. So there you go.
Yeah, it is amazing what Ball Saver will do to, be able to like shoot the battering ramp as many times as you can, and then it's like, oh, all right, my ball's live now, but I had 11 shots on the battering ram and I'm at 4x playfield already.
Yep, and now I can start. Okay.
Right.
Makes a huge difference.
You guys are too good. That's all I have to say about that.
Hey, why not try it? It's there. Hey.
Oh, I try it all the time.
It's a sickness. It's a sickness.
Game of Thrones. How are we feeling about Game of Thrones as a tournament game nowadays?
I'm feeling great about it.
You guys had it in Atlanta, right, Steve? You
Yeah,
guys played it?
we sure did. It was fast. There were no rubbers on the sides because there better not be for Game of Thrones, for that roller coaster ride of a game. So that you just get hurt anytime you hit a spot target. So you got to control. It wasn't set. It was set tight, but it wasn't tight enough where if you go down every time the ball travels down the right orbit, you can hit the games. You can catch the ball on the right flipper like it's supposed to. So that was allowed. So it wasn't set that tight. So there was no excuses for not at least trying to catch the ball on the right flipper every time.
Sure.
But other than that, the game was set quick, and the out lanes were mean as they should be.
What were the popular houses people were starting with right now?
It was Martell versus Tyrell, just like it usually always is. And
Yep.
Greyjoy sort of faded to the background because the game was evil enough. I mean, you have to, if you're choosing Greyjoy, if you're going for the royal flush, if you're trying to choose Greyjoy, you kind of have to earn all the other houses. You can take their powers, and while you're earning all their houses, you might just drain and get absolutely nothing. Right? I mean, even though you are in a herb style, so you want to try Greyjoy once, so you can just break the game wide open. But you can do that with Tyrell. I mean, I chose Tyrell in the final because I didn't want to hit those targets more often than I needed to. And I didn't want to have to complete them. All I needed to do is get lucky and hit one of the targets a few times to lock the ball, as opposed to hitting both sets of targets and risk draining down the out lane. So that's why I just settled on Tyrell.
Were you guys playing a pro or a premium?
It was pro.
Okay.
It was pro, so no help with the upper playfield. I mean, if I had the L lead or the premium, I'm like, yeah, let me use that upper playfield to help me with some Tyrell or other shots, because it will help you with that. So we had no assistance with that, no 5 seconds added, none of that. It was just go for it. So it was more. I think more popular was Martel with the added ball.
I'm a Martel guy. We have one in our Super League here.
Yeah.
Chicago, and when push comes to shove, that's the direction I go 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, because it's there so you can get the super ready, and then once you drain the ball because you hit the super, you can get your balls back so you can hit more supers. Because the battering ram is meant to drain you, and it does its job. You hit the battering ram, it bounces off the right side of the game and goes down the middle like it's supposed to. It's good design. So when you have your Martel ready, once you know you're going to drain out, get me all my balls back so I can pound on the super with multiplied playfield. But the super jackpot target and the one at Pinvasion was a little bit iffy. Okay, I mean, you sort of had to hit it from the right flipper, and it was it was a drain shot. So, that was basically the debate of Martel versus Tyrell. So.
Interesting. Too early to discuss Ghostbusters?
Too early.
For me, yeah. I mean...
Have you played it, Nate?
I have. I've played probably a dozen games. Not that much. There is not one in San Diego anywhere.
I can tell you, I think it's really fun.
Yeah.
Certainly, yeah, it's fun to me.
I played it with you, actually, at your launch party, Josh, but I guess you don't remember that.
Right. That's right. No, I've now fully blocked that whole experience out of my mind, Nate.
Yeah, it is fun. It's a fun. It seems like there's a lot going on in that game, and there's lots of things to shoot at. I don't know the rules that well myself.
No, I am literally waiting on a response email from Dwight after sending him a list of a video with time stamped at what happened here? Why did this happen here? Should this have happened here? Go to this minute. Why did this happen? Why is this value this? I don't know nearly enough yet. To either know that that's how the game is supposed to behave, and then if it is, then hey, why the hell is the game behaving like that? That shouldn't be doing you shouldn't be wanting that to happen.
Interesting. All right, well, we'll keep checking back on Ghostbusters in future episodes.
I have full faith seeing where sort of Game of Thrones was early on with wall multi-ball was ridiculous, and seeing where Dwight has balanced that in, and I fully expect more balancing to house choices, because Dwight is well aware that most people are picking Martel or Tyrell, and then there's the Greyjoy strategy, and he knows that his job is he wants people to pick the Lannister family and the Baratheon family, and it's going to be his job to sweeten the pot on those other ones where we can go back to really having a debate about which house is best. And if you can have a debate where maybe not all the houses are of equal measure, if you can get 1 or 2 more houses into the discussion, it only makes for a way better game if you have people arguing for so many different strategies that all work.
Totally agree. All right.
I'm interested to see how he fixes Stark, really. I mean, Stark seems too simple. What increases the winter is coming, but that's it. I mean, it's really going to be Greyjoy, Martel, and Tyrell in the battle until he fixes the other 3.
I've said to him, I'm a big fan of trying to make Lannister more powerful.
That would be nice.
I've said to my thoughts on Lannister. The gold that you're able to accumulate on Lannister, the ability to buy other house abilities.
Yeah, more shopping. Yeah, more shopping. Like I
Hey,
was,
you want
like
that? You want that Tyrell multiplier? That's going to cost you
Yeah.
4,800 gold.
I
Oh,
want that
okay.
exactly. Thank you very much. That would be awesome. I mean, I was definitely like at least when I could buy Targaryen lit, so I don't have to shoot the dragon shot, and that already happens. Just more of that. Allow me to qualify a shot just by buying it, or just how about just give me a super for getting enough gold. I mean, there are ways to do it. I'm looking
Yes,
forward to see what
there are
happens.
ways,
There are
and
ways.
I'm looking forward to Dwight exploring
Yeah.
those ways. Sure.
And I want to pick Lannister other than just to set a high score on it, and then
Right.
Yeah, that's really the only time I pick Lannister.
Just a vehicle to get your initials on a game.
Right, really, yeah.
Interesting stuff. All right, guys, we're going to talk about the new pinball dictionary. We're going to do that every month. We're going to choose a term in the new pinball dictionary, which can be found at funwithbonus.com, Steve's website. This month, I chose a term that was apparently, as the notes here, was suggested to the new pinball dictionary by one Josh Sharp,
Oh yes.
and it is... Do you know what it is, Josh?
No, but it's probably me passing along a dictionary term that like Elwin probably used and cracked me the hell up.
All right, this is from December 29th, 2012,
Oh Jesus.
and the term is drunk driver. So the definition here is a driver, and we know the driver is the top seed in a playoff group choosing which games to play. A driver who chooses games based seemingly more on luck to counteract the perceived difference in skill between him and his opponents. Example, I can't believe we're about to play Whodunit without the tournament mode. It's the drunk driver's fault. We're going to play that luck box.
Okay, first of all, critique on my interpretation of the term, Josh. So, I mean, I saw that from what you had, and then I based my definition on that. So, is that good? Is it?
No, I like it's it's not just that. It's also it's more of the wild card of not knowing what the person is going to pick. Like I know if my dad is going to play Elwin, like I'm going to tell my dad as a strategy to pick the luckiest box he can find. Like I don't consider that drunk driving. I consider drunk driving like I don't know what the hell this guy's going to do and if I'm going to make it home alive on this trip. And I'll see that from
Nice.
like the common people like Raymond Davidson, drunk driver. Robert Gagno, drunk driver. Like you just don't know. Like something may pop into their head and it's like they may have played the same 3 games the first 2 rounds and then like the next round he's just like, you know what, I feel like playing this. And it's like, oh my God, where did he pull that from?
It's like, how did this game come into right? Okay.
Do we have any recent examples of this?
I was personally a drunk driver at Free Play Florida the year that Steve won.
Well, we played Paragon on that. That was
No, we
one of
played
them.
the last game. Oh God, was Gorgar, and I was going to choose. I chose an ACDC, and I think it was me, you, and Lefkoff. And I told Zach if it was going to come down to Game 3, that ACDC bell feed was going down the middle like every time. And,
Yes,
and I was just
yes,
like,
it was.
I'm not going to lose the tournament because like I'm going to make a shot. And this is going to go down the middle, and I'm like, I'm so going to pick Gorgar. These guys are going to freak out, and I'm going to win. And I picked Gorgar, and Lefkoff freaked out, and you won.
I was fine with it. I already got my butt beat so much on Gokar, I'm used to it. So I'm like, I was fine with it. Let's see if I can. Chat Steam Lane. No, I cannot. Okay.
Lefkoff still does not let me live that down, and considers me a perpetual now. I cannot be trusted with the keys.
Wow, just automatic drunk driver.
That's it
out
for
the
life.
gate.
That's fantastic. I'm actually making notes right now about my disdain for driving the bus that we can talk about on a future episode. Because I think
It's that pressure. It's like I should have won that game because I picked it, right? I mean, that's what it seems like that. But then, I mean, like I said, when I was at Pinvasion, when I was settling in my low, my lower seat, I was like, okay, I don't have to pick anything, so that's fine. And so I guess that takes a little bit of the pressure off. Although I always want to pick a game, because I don't want to play a game I don't want to play. But if all the games are there and you want to play them all and it doesn't matter,
Maybe that's my next trip to Papa Finals, since I'm 0 for 2 driving the bus and finishing second.
Wow,
second
my next trip to Papa Finals, he says. Jeez.
Calling it. Write it down. Write it down.
When is it? 12, 15, Papa 21 for me. No, Papa 20. I'm an every 3-year guy. So not next year. Oh, no, Papa 20
that'd be next year, yeah.
Next year.
I'll see you guys in finals, baby. Lock it.
It's a lock. Lock of the year.
It is a lock.
That's awesome.
Actually, no, it's my daughter's birthday, so I can't even go. So it's going to be really hard for me to win Papa.
Nice. So you're saying you're going to purposely sandbag so as to not drive the bus? What if you're in that position?
Choose fourth.
Dude, right.
I can't handle it. I can't handle the pressure, guys. Give me fourth.
But then you'll blame yourself if you lose out. I should have picked this game. Why did that?
After the first game I picked it, I'm like, I don't want to play that game. Oh, that's my fault. I didn't have to.
He picked Alien Star or whatever, or he picked, Quicksilver. I wanted to play Game X. So then you'll be blaming yourself on that. And that's a whole different type of post-Papa depression if you're, saying you could have picked the game and you didn't, and you're thinking about that for a
I live that depression often,
right.
Steve.
It hurts.
It hurts.
I should have picked this game. Why didn't I pick it? Meanwhile, you can't assume anything. You have no idea. But that's what gets into your head.
All right, guys, before we wrap this up, some parting shots. Quickly, in like a minute, let's pretend we're at Pinburg.
Uh-oh.
How do I play Gorgar? Go.
Wow. Many theories.
Shatsy and lanes to light your snake head for 50,000. Done. Do it over and over and over.
That's it?
That's basically it. I mean, I've personally had my butt kicked by the Shat's master on Gorgar, so that's how I know how to play it. But
if your inlanes are going up and out and it doesn't really work, you're forced to sort of you can pound away at the spinner when it's lit. Try to get your double and triple bonus through the top right, but like I find that lighting your jet bumpers for 1,000, a lot of it like clearing the drop target banks opens up higher scoring potentials, and I've had a lot of luck. We have it in our Super League here, and when the shatzing isn't working because there's a lane guide loose or something like that, I found if you can get the jet bumpers lit and shoot it back up to the top, you're not only building bonus, but if the game's pretty lively with its jet action, those 1,000 jets can add up at a pretty decent clip.
That's good stuff.
And any validity to getting those middle drop targets down that they're lit for 5,000 a shot? I mean, are you usually dead? Are you usually dead before that happens?
Our game is actually pretty interesting in that if you're cradled on the right flipper and you shoot the center bank, it takes 2 targets out, bounces off the left rubber, and then usually bounces back and takes the 3rd target out. So it's Keith Johnson plays 5,000 targets all day, but he plays it, in our league here. I know depending on the left kickout feed, you can do the light the left saucer for 15,000 and shoot it repeatedly.
Right.
I think that is the go-to method on the Pinball Arcade Gorgar, where you can have full confidence that the game will kick out every single time.
Every single time. It's just not the same.
But it's actually it's a pretty good game because it offers, depending on how it plays, it's one of those games that the strategy really varies based on exactly how the game is set up, which is kind of cool.
I think that it's pretty apparent how much fun you can have with some of these older, like less deep and less sophisticated games when they're in a setting like your local Super Selfie League, because it really makes you sort of figure out how on earth are these people getting these points, and you dissect what is there, and it becomes a lot of fun.
Yeah, totally.
That's awesome. Anything else? Anything else you guys want to add? Am I missing anything?
I don't know.
That's enough.
I think that's enough for now.
That's pretty good.
You guys are so good.
We tease some stuff, right?
We'll be back.
Yeah, we tease stuff. I mean, we'll
I feel
be
like
back.
we got to way more than I thought we were going to tonight. That's pretty solid.
I told you I'd keep you in check.
Dude, I would dare say you are not a drunk driver host.
I'm trying. I'm trying my best.
We did well.
Hopefully, if my schedule allows, we'll all be at Pinburg together, and maybe we'll do a little audio from Pinburg. That'll be the next chance I think we have to do this that time period for episode 3. Looking forward to it.
That sounds good.
Sounds good. You guys are great. That's over here on the far right. That's Steve Bowden. Over there in the middle, that's Josh Sharp, and I'm on the left. Thank you guys for listening. Appreciate you. Episode number 2 in the books. Take care.
See ya.
Later.